Hello everyone, it is I, the German girl, and welcome to my third channel. And this is also my first video. Today we're gonna talk about the confirmed impactors. What are they? An impactor is where a smaller or same-sized celestial body collides with another bigger or same-sized celestial body. And no, we're not talking about Theia. We're talking about the unknowns that aren't recognizable as Theia. And warning, I am stupid. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now let's get on to our first hypothesis on our list. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Uranus impactor. This hypothesis over there is probably the most recognizable hypothesis in the list. And as you can tell by the name, it has to do with Uranus and with Uranus anomaly. The Uranus impactor is a hypothetical rocky planet that is believed to have collided with Uranus 4 billion years ago to tilt Uranus by its side. A second theory says that the impactor was an ancient moon of Uranus. The planet is believed to have been a 2 to 3 Earth-mass supertear, big enough to have been a failed ice giant. The planet was made in silicate, iron, and nickel, with huge layers of ice, made of water and rock, which means if the planet was in the habitable zone, it would be an ocean planet. Here's an artwork of the planet. I don't know who drew this, but shout out to them. In my opinion, I think the planet used to have a ring system made out of failed moons, and used to be white with blue areas. And since the planet doesn't have a name, I would call it Boreas. Okay, that was the Uranus impactor. Now let's get on to the next impactor on the list. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Haumea impactor. Okay, fun fact, I known this hypothesis since before it was confirmed, which means that I'm pretty familiar with this hypothesis. Alright. The Haumea Impactor is a hypothetical rocky planet that is believed to have collided with the dwarf planet Haumea billions of years ago, causing Haumea to spin very, very fast, become oval-shaped, forming its rings, its moons, and the Haumea family. Now there's nothing known about the hypothesis, there's no artwork, and of course, we don't know what type of planetary object it was, but I can tell you my opinion. In my opinion, this object was a small dwarf planet, and also looked white with pastel yellow spots. I think the impactor was disturbed by Haumea's gravitational pull, causing it to collide with Haumea. And of course, it doesn't have a name. If I could name it, I will name it Terra. Okay, now the next impactor on our list is very interesting for me, and is probably the least recognizable, possibly confirmed hypothesis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jupiter impactor. This hypothesis is actually 40% confirmed. The reason why I put it here is because I slowly started to believe that this hypothesis is slowly confirming. Alright, the Jupiter impactor is a hypothetical rocky planet that is believed to have collided with Jupiter 4.5 billion years ago, causing Jupiter's core to become solid. And there's an actual artwork of the planet, and here it is. However, you can't really tell what it looks like, because the artwork shows the planet colliding with Jupiter. So here's my drawing to the planet's appearance. Speaking of appearance, the planet is believed to have been a 10 Earth mass superterra, possibly big enough to have been a failed gas giant. In my opinion, the reason the impact happened is because Jupiter and Saturn disturbed its orbit so much that it ended up colliding with Jupiter. Cause the gas giants back then used to be 10 times bigger and heavier than now. If I could name it, I will call it Adonis. And if the Jupiter impactor had a dark side, aka if the planet was always faced the sun, I will call its dark side Anita. Just because. Okay, before the video ends, I just want to tell you that there are also more impactors like the Quawa impactor, but that one is disproven. Sorry. However, there are some impactors that are possible, like the Mars impactor to explain the formation of Mars's moons, the Venus impactor number 1 and 2 to explain the formation of its craters, its past ocean, aka life, its past moon, and the depth of its moon. And the Mercury impactor. Well, I don't know this one very well, but I guess to explain some mass losses? I don't know. Well, that sure was something. Thank you so much for watching. Don't worry, I'm not forcing y'all. I guess you can say if this video gets 20 likes, I will explain my model of the Jupiter Impactor. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye!